Hello. Good evening. So, coming live again. Let me see who's in the live tonight. Juan Andres, do you enjoy our women's clothing? I am actually I don't know how I feel when I see men following this page. Latino and Caucasian men of middle age following this page. It's a very different experience. Anyways, let me hop right into it tonight. Let me turn my timer on. I tried to, well, not tried to, I started wasting time. I started like lingering, playing on my phone, and it was like, no, you have to go live. So, let me talk a little bit. Tonight's okay, what I'm going to talk about tonight is a little bit more, it's not like I'm giving any tips or anything like that. I want to kind of talk about the beginning because those were the things that were like kind of flashing in my head today. So let's flash to 2021. I can't even remember the season. I can't even tell you if it were winter, summer, spring, but let's just say maybe the fall. Yeah, let's say maybe the fall. I used to be on Twitter, and that was literally like my social time. So that was the time that I got to and I didn't know anybody on Twitter, and I loved it. That was the point. So it was mostly Africans. It was mostly Nigerians, to be honest. I was on Nigerian Twitter, and I just thought it's hilarious because I don't think Nigeria is a real place. Like, I could never be shocked enough by the things that Nigerians say, do, the way they behave. It's like, it blows your mind. So it was like my social time, I guess I would say, on Nigerian Twitter. Because other than that, I'm working in a mall location. It's the middle of lockdown, can't get staff. What else was going on? Working in a mall location, just busy, overall busy. And then when I get home, it's like I deal with my family, but then I have a little window every once in a while, like let's say 2 hours a day, or maybe like in the morning or whatever, and I go on Twitter, and it's like hilarious. It's like stress relief, whatever. So oddly enough, at that time, like that was the only I really would see. That's the thing about me. I don't want to say I don't like people, because that's not true, because I enjoy people, but I'm not social. And I don't know how those two things mix. Like, I love to interact with people here and there, but it's like I'm not like, and I've gone through my life, and so many people have been hurt by that because they thought we were better friends than we were, and it's not that. It's like I'm the problem. It's me, not them, etc., etc. So I was socializing on Nigerian Twitter. I was having a ball, and Nigerians love foreigners, so I was quite popular at that time with them, right? But I'm not a person, again, that used to post pictures. Even me coming on live is not by choice. I like, if I had a choice, I would not be on live. I would not be talking to anybody. I wouldn't be like, it's not me. So anyway, I never posted any pictures. And it was like out of nowhere, my relationships with the people on Twitter just started to slide a little bit, where it was like we were super cool, we would joke all the time, but it was like random people would like slide in my DM and like try to find out, like get pictures of me and find out what I look like, etc. And then it was always, and then it was like all of a sudden people started to be really rude, like really cruel out of nowhere. And I was like, okay, that's odd. And then I remember I was in some group setting, and it's like people would fight to like get my phone number, and like fight to like, again, just always try to get pictures and whatnot. And eventually I just kind of got off Twitter altogether. Because I just had a gut feeling that like my Twitter was being monitored, which I don't know why. I just like, it was just a nagging feeling until I just deleted the entire account. I permanently deleted it. Now, mind you, I had a fair amount of followers on there. Like, one thing about Twitter, it is hard to get followers on Twitter. So I had, unless you've been on Twitter for forever and you're super active and like you're interacting with the same pages, etc., etc. So anyway, that ended up happening. So that Twitter thing was odd. Then during COVID, I ended up making a cooking page. And again, no pictures. All the other cooking pages, they had pictures of themselves, pictures of their families. Again, it's not like, I'm a person, even if I go out and I get really nice pictures, I don't post it. Like, I barely even share it even. So it's like, for whatever reason, I don't know. Maybe it's just part of me not being social. It's like something I never shared. Anyway, fast forward. So I get to the point where, some cooking guy, a guy, he was a sous chef or whatever in some restaurant, I think in Chicago, San Francisco, somewhere like that. They post, and then we were kind of in like little cooking groups, like Instagram cooking groups, like, oh, it's a competition this week, cook this or that. It was something to do. It was a pastime. He posts some little bogus competition and was like, post your picture to DM. And say 3 things about yourself. And normally I wouldn't do something like that, but that day I did. And as soon as I did that, I instantly regretted it. Like, just something about it felt off. He just looked at the picture. He never said anything. He never interacted. And we barely interacted before even that. So I was like, ugh, something's off. Something's off about this. So let me just make sure I'm on point. So then that's the second thing that happened. Third thing happens, all of a sudden, the store number that I have listed the number is being blown up. Like, I'm talking about like 50 calls a day from the exact same number. It wasn't a private number, but it was like a blatantly fake number. It was like all day long. But if I did pick up the phone, no one would say anything. I remember once or twice I picked up the phone, no one said anything. So I had to have my phone basically on Do Not Disturb all the time. Third weird thing. Fast forward, I had my car listed on Auto Trader because for whatever reason, I'm like, okay, enough with the cars. So couldn't sell the vehicle. And I kept getting requests that were super weird. Like, it would be somebody's in BC, somebody's in Edmonton, some long distance phone number, and they want to know, they want to meet, but it's like they want to meet, but they don't want to meet, but it's like you're trying to call the number, but it's like, I'm at work, like no one picks up. Oh, I'm at work. Oh, I'm busy. It's like fake numbers. It's like blatantly fake. It's like feeling sketchy. And then it's like, I remember there was one particular account that started getting hostile. And it was like, okay, thank you very much. No, thank you. And I deleted the messages. Either I delete the message or I stop talking to them. Hostile communication continues. Then I block it. They make a new page feeling very smug, very happy, like, who can't do that? They make a new page or a new profile and come at me again. Oh, you can't get rid of me, this or that. Oh, and they said something or the other about my vehicle or whatever. And I was like, okay, whatever. I had to write to Auto Trader to get Auto Trader to block the IP address from Auto Trader. So it was like, congratulations, now you can't scam people. You need a new IP address or something else because they blocked at the IP level. So this was the first time that I encountered John Ferreira's persistent, obsessive, psychotic personality. And I remember the energy signature very well. That auto trader debacle was the first time that I encountered this guy. That is how long this guy was looking for me and how hard he was working to find a picture of me, to find out information about me, to get close to me, to get in contact with me. That is how long. So, let me do my best to describe this personality as best as I can. That's probably what I'm going to spend the bulk of the reading doing, because this person, I use the word person so loosely. It's hard to describe energy. It's something that you just feel. It's hard to put it into words. Very aggressive. Comes off very strong. It gives rapist energy. Lacks boundaries. Doesn't understand no. Is triggered by no. When they hear no, it's like a competition. Once this person hears no, it's like, this is an invitation. You know, most men have a bit of that in them, where it's like, if you as a woman are refusing the advances, they kind of feel as if, oh, she's playing hard to get. Let me try a little harder. It's like that on steroids times 100. It is doesn't understand that this is somebody else's personal boundary, just thinks winning at all costs. Like, even if there's nothing to win, there's no trophy, there's no prize. Energy that always wants to like ridicule somebody else, make somebody else feel small. Even if they have to make it up. Even if they have to make something up. And then what's even worse, after they make up the lie, he'll believe it. He genuinely will believe it. And you can literally see it. And I've experienced this over the course of a year. And this doesn't matter if there's evidence to the contrary or not. It's not about logic. It's literally just about, how do I make myself feel better? Almost like self-soothing at the expense of other people's pain. That's exactly what it is. Self-soothing a wounded ego at the expense of somebody else's pain. I'm trying to describe this energy based on the auto trader experience, because the auto trader experience, like, there's no face, there's no name, and you're just really sensing someone's personality. Manipulative for sure. Like, that goes without saying. In general, a bully, but just more than that. There's just more than that to that energy. I want to say it's like, quite frankly, the dirtiest energy that I've ever felt. It really is a shapeshifter. 1 minute, it could be very relatable because it studied you, because it knows what words to say or what things to say. I don't think John Ferreira approaches anybody he hasn't researched first. I just don't think he interacts with people. I don't think he feels comfortable to wing it with anyone, because he always has an agenda. I think he studies people. If they like cats, he likes cats. If they don't like to gossip, I remember him one time saying, I don't like to gossip. And I was like, all he does is talk crap about the people closest to him. And literally, like, just a liar. I don't know what type of liar it is that believes their own lies, but you hear it and you think to yourself, maybe they want to believe their own lies. No, he will believe it. And that's the thing. When you're in a situation where you believe your own lies, you take away your preparedness to deal with reality and to deal with what's in front of you. So if you can see something in front of you, like the reason we're in the situation that we're in today, you can see that this is a bad idea. This is not going to work. The odds are way too stacked against you. And still, in a fury of self-destruction, going to continue to do the same thing over and over and over again, even though it hasn't worked, because you only have 5 tricks, and just going to continue doing the same 5 tricks over and over again, and it's not working. It has no effect, but it's like not gonna stop, not gonna leave it alone. So we're talking 2021, that this person has been after me, just trying to figure out who I am, what I'm about. Actually, could it have been early 2021? It could have been early 2021. It could have been spring 2021. But anyways, I noticed these odd behaviors, and I felt that there was almost like someone behind the curtain, kind of like pulling strings or digging around or trying to find information. And then after, from the IG, the fake Instagram food group competition, when they got my picture, that's when the real crap started happening. So it almost felt like they needed my picture for Telegram. They needed my picture to circulate around, to let everybody know, like, this is who we're looking for. This is her. This is, and then to plan the whole course of manipulation, whatever the manipulation was going to be at the time. So I just wanted to share that part, because I feel, and I'm going to share absolutely every facet of my story, but I feel like it's really important to, because I feel like everybody has an instinct about when things are odd, but it's like sometimes you just kind of brush it aside and you say to yourself, like, maybe it was in my head, or, because at the time I knew something was up, but I didn't know like what it could be, or I didn't connect the dots. I would never think it would have anything to do with my relationship, which was not even a serious relationship at the time. Like, it was barely moving. I had no idea what it was. But, you know, to anybody watching this, and again, I always post these to YouTube, if you start dating somebody and weird things start happening, that's a red flag. Like, open your eyes immediately. They are after you. Something's going on. Like, something is weird. I always try to kind of differentiate, because in my mind, I feel like there are 2 groups. I feel like they're the people who pay, and then there are the people who are being paid to do this. So there are people locally in Toronto that are, I don't even know if everybody's paid. Maybe people are just told, like, hey, go talk to that person. I don't, you know, at one point it kind of felt like there was like a bid. It was like whoever could bring this person in, or whoever could be friends with this person, or whoever could whatever, like, this is what you get. Because the way these people claw to get in my energy, the way these people fight, the way they're aggressive, it's like they're making it obvious. Like, it's past love bombing, it's desperation. And it's like, for what reason? I'm not out there. I'm not a celebrity. I'm not someone that you can gain something from. So why are you so desperate? I met you twice and now you're calling me your sister. You're going to get yourself hurt. Like, you know, it's like that type of energy. And again, like I've said in other videos, I don't do well with love bombing, because it's insincere. Well, listen, to be honest with you, whether it's sincere or not, I'm not interested. People have a hard fucking time understanding that. Not interested. Not interested. This is prior to gang stalking. This is me as a young girl. This is in general. Not interested. I'm not gonna explain why. I don't care why. I don't even analyze why. It's just how I feel. Not interested. When I'm interested, I'm interested. When I care. But that does not happen often. So it's like, I can feel when people are, and it's like, I'm not even gonna, like, because you'll hear it and it's like, it's not a special skill. Everybody has it. People just ignore it. Some people ignore what their intuition is telling them. Like, everybody knows when they're being love bombed. Everybody knows when someone is disingenuous. Everybody knows when somebody has an angle. Like when people come and the super nice da da da, they're usually the fake ones. They're usually the ones that are going to get you in trouble of some kind. It's like everybody knows that. But the love bombing thing had to be one of the most irritating things that I've had to put up with. And in the beginning, I used to kind of be like, okay, you have a store. It used to annoy me a lot, actually. When I used to complain about it, my family would be like, well, you have a store, you have a business, like you have to just tolerate people. People are gonna, have something to say. People are gonna want to get to know you, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, for what? Come buy your clothes and leave. Like, I can understand, like, being like, hey, how are you? How's the day? Da da da. But it's like, the personal questions, the digging, the this, the that, very uncomfortable situations. But anyway, I wanted to go over that first because I really wanted to, in one of the videos, actually, I think it's one of my videos with the most views, I describe this situation as a labyrinth. And I kind of go through what it is, but a labyrinth is essentially like a maze. And apparently it's like, I can't remember, but it's like Greek mythology and someone designed it to like, to trap a minotaur, which is basically like a beast that would eat people. And eventually somebody killed it. Somebody went into the maze and killed it. But when I thought about it today, I was like, you know what? John Ferreira reminds me of a minotaur. He is the minotaur in the labyrinth. For someone to sit there and devise a way to put together a group of people to look for people who are insecure, people who share the same strain of like not fitting in, of inadequacy, of just needing to find some sort of like to fit in some way, and bringing all of those people together and then preying on that insecurity that they have, that need for validation, that need to belong, and then manipulating that. It's almost like a F the world type of mentality that they all have. Like deluding them into feeling like, well, nobody cares, and that's what they would do to you. It's like you can see preying on weak-minded people. Even people who, and it's always the same kind of people. Whenever I've looked at they're quiet, they have weak boundaries, they have a hard time standing up for themselves, they're pushovers, and so it's like they test you first before they approach you. So it's like they'll come in your store and they'll kind of push you and pass their place. And the problem with me was I'm at work and I work in the mall. So for me to, how I'm going to react when I work in the mall is not going to how I'm going to react when I'm in my own store. The kind of bullshit that they were getting away with when I was at Vaughan Mills and Oakville Place Mall is not the crap that they could have gotten away with at my other location. Because I couldn't wait. The first time one of them came in and they started kikiking, cackling, I grabbed my bowl out of their hands to get the fuck out of my store right now. It's like, oh my God, you can't talk to people. I could talk to you however I want to, as a matter of fact. I could do whatever I want because this is my store. Get out of my store. After that, everybody has to come in a very respectful manner. Because what we're not going to do is pass our place in my business. And that's the thing that constantly gave people this impression that I was one to play with. It was because I'm in a mall. So if there's an issue, then they're going to go to mall management and they're going to go cry and they're going to say, oh, your business this and this and that. And I could tell this is the angle that they were looking for. These people are destroyers. They come to destroy your life. We never had a Google page. They made a first Google page. I deleted it. Then they made another Google page. I never updated it. Then they went and somebody made the Google page, then took pictures of our store and loaded it onto the Google page, loaded incorrect store hours and everything, loaded the address, and here comes the bogus reviews of my business. And it's like nonsense. It's trivial bullshit. Like, oh, she this and she that and she did this and she did that. And it's like, I remember prior to the Google page, they were already leaving nonsense Google reviews like, oh, I came in the store and wanted to try a dress and the owner ripped it from my hands. And it was like, what logical place would rip a dress out of your hands that you want to purchase in a mall? Like, what mall can you go to? Can you think of what store where somebody's going to rip a dress out of your hands? Make it make sense. They would send people. I remember there was this mentally disturbed, clinically diagnosed, unwell girl from Oakville Place Mall that made it her business to try to come in the store all the time, circle around in the store, tell us blatantly to our face, like, no, I have no intention of buying anything, stand in place, hop in place, and it'd be like, listen, you need to leave. And then it's like she has the audacity to turn around and be like, oh, I'm scared of you. I had to tell security, like, listen, this is a place of business. People have literally like left the store while shopping because of this girl's behavior. Like, I need you guys to ask her to leave. And if that's too difficult for you, then I'm going to need to call the police or like the health services or something. Cause like you don't do that at someone's business. Like, I can't even imagine myself. And she came back with her mother and they complained. And then she left a review, and her review has nothing to do with the fact that I have a clip of her and her behavior in my store, a video clip. It has nothing to do with what she actually did. The clip is calling me, the review is calling me money hungry. And it's like, these are the kind of things that their specialty and the thing that they love to do is throw rocks and hide their hands. Do craziness and then pretend like, oh no, it's normal. Oh no, that just happened. Oh no, it's a bit of bad luck. It's not bad luck. But then when he's having a bit of bad luck in his life and the whole thing's getting torn down from the ceiling and his head is ripped off his body and put on a stick in front of the house, now it's not bad luck. Now it's a dark witch. Now it's black magic. Now it's me. How are you going to blame me? Was I there? I don't even know you. I don't even know where you live. I don't even know anything about this person. And this person is spreading rumors about me in the city that I'm the reason they're having bad luck because I'm a dark witch and this, that, and the third. But they weren't a dark warlock or a dark witch themselves when they were doing things literally, physically. This is this person's job, to come around, to do things to people, to gang stalk people, to set people up to, like, I mean, it's the way that they continue to pass their place when it doesn't work. It's one thing that they're following you and you're going along your way. But when they want to come and they want to just stand there behind you as you're in the aisle and just stand there with a smirk on their face, like, you're setting people up to be in uncomfortable situations because not everybody's putting up with this nonsense. And it's like, as soon as you turn around and you say something, then it's like, oh my God, I'm the victim. And it's like, you know what? Anybody going through this, you're probably going through this because you have poor boundaries, and you're probably going through this because you have a difficult time telling people where to go and when. And that's a personal issue that you have to learn, because you're not coming out of this until you learn to do that. You're going to have to do that a lot. You need to be the bad guy. You need to learn to be the bad guy in somebody's story. You got to be the dark witch in somebody's story. You got to kill something every once in a while. It is what it is. This is the type of person who's sadistic. This is the type of person who doesn't want you to enjoy a single moment of your day. They want to irritate you in every way. They want to cause drama and anxiety and toxicity in every way. I'm going to go into the manipulation of how they use businesses, and that's what gives them the impression of being bigger than they are, being more sophisticated than they are, being everywhere when they're really not. They're really not. There's a huge world out there. You've just been targeted. So it is very much going to give the impression that, oh my God, it's like this huge organized thing, and they're everywhere, and they're really not. They're paying people, they're doing a lot. Wait till they tap out of money. You'll see how much they're not everywhere. You'll see how much they're not everywhere. And this person is so desperate. I think John would pay for gang stalkers and pay people to like continue to be on my case than to pay for food, than to pay his rent. I know for a fact. I felt that energy with him before. That man tapped out of money a long time ago. A long time ago. And it's like, I literally laugh in my head. I'm like, at one point I remember saying, I was like, when it comes between paying stalkers and buying food, we'll see how serious you are. He's serious. I stand corrected. He's serious. He's very serious. And it's crazy because it's like, and I've said this in so many videos, it's like sharing an Instagram with someone. Imagine if you, okay, so I have my kids on my Instagram. So I will get ads for whatever it is that they're into. I will get the ads. So my daughter's super into doing her hair, and she looks up hairstyles and whatever. So I get all of those ads. I'm gonna, for the sake of argument, call it when we used to share an Instagram. He's learned now because he doesn't like people knowing. See, that's the thing about people who gossip and who slander, and we all know that. Those are the people who don't want you to know anything about them because their life is crazier than normal. These are the people that have to gossip about other people to make themselves feel better. The kind of ads I was getting, it was salacious. It went from me being gang stalked to me genuinely enjoying the things that I was seeing on my phone. Because I was like, it was almost like, and you see for myself, someone who's not social, someone who doesn't talk to too many people, and I don't want to know what people's business is. Like, I don't care. It's like, those kind of things are entertaining for me. Like, that's how I got into tarot, because tarot is like, it has nothing to do with me, but I was like, this is entertaining. Like, whoever's life this is entertaining. So it's like, I'm looking at my Instagram, and I know how my Instagram is. So I like, all of us, we like particular things. Those are the things that come up. The ads I'm seeing on Instagram, ridiculous. I found out what disorders he has, what medical issues he has. I knew he was getting a divorce and it wasn't going very well because it was like the divorce attorney ads were wild. There was a lot of stuff about cancer, childhood cancer, which I'm not gonna laugh at because that's not funny regardless. There were like a ton of stuff about disabilities, a ton of payday loan stuff. There was tons of issues with cars. Like, there's tons of ads for like, listen, I never knew you could get ads with cars for like $60 a month. I had no idea. Very resourceful man, I must say. Very resourceful. Cause where you find cars for $60 a month is like, that's the lease payment. What kind of car is this? For $67 a month or $89 or whatever. It was like ridiculous stuff. There would be ads. Oh my God. There would be gay ads. I'm just saying, this is supposed to be a married man with kids. And there were always, not ads, it's the explore page. There were always these things that would pop up in the explore page. I don't know if you've ever seen it. With the muscular guys with the one hand behind the with the one hand behind the head, muscular in like the little underwear, like the little G-strings, or like half naked. It was like, whose whose IG is this? Like, this is humiliating. It was just like, it was like, oh my God. Like, I don't know. You know what? I have to be honest. Like, every once in a while, you can't help but pity it, because you're like, what is going on internally with this person? Like, he genuinely takes pleasure in when people are sad, in when it affects you, when you're crying. It, like, no, that's when he goes harder. It like fuels him. And if you're not sad, if it doesn't bother you, if you ignore him, it infuriates him. And it's this desperation for attention. Throughout the year, there was at one point where I just started ignoring him. Like, I was totally done with it. And that's when he used to go craziest. Like, he would do anything for attention. Like, if I were scrolling on Twitter, he'd come on Twitter and he'd like scroll. He'd like stop this, like, cuz my phone's mirrored. So it's like he'd just start playing on the phone just so I can have some type of a reaction. And it's like, no, I'm going to keep going on Twitter. I'll keep doing what I'm doing, cuz it just comes to a point where you just see somebody is desperate for attention, and it's not scary. It's like sad. It's like, you can't imagine that somebody who has any sort of talent took it to do that. Like, to hurt people. Like, what happened? And I remember we talked for about 2 to 3 weeks, where it was like, I'm trying to figure out what this person wants. Are they gonna extort me? Like, who is this about? And when I noticed like nothing was coming of it, I was like, whatever. Like, I'm out of here. I ghosted out of the situation. No explanation. I just stopped calling, stopped talking, didn't care. Um, and especially when people play head games, like, my whole life, head games have, it's gonna backfire every single time. Like, don't think you can start treating me like crap and I'm gonna get needy and be like, oh my God. No, you're gonna get blocked, if not cussed out. Don't play games with me. Like, I don't have patience for stupidity. Like, zero. That's one thing I know they never liked about zero. You have one chance to play with me. One. I don't do chances. We don't do more than one. Judge Judy. Like this one reader said, I'm like Judge Judy. I don't care. Blocked. Done. That goes for man, woman, child, animal, thing, whoever. You pass your place once, you're not passing it again. That's it. And I really don't care what people have to say, because people have to, oh, you have a reputation. Yeah, good. Good. Now you guys know not to waste my damn time. So it was like, alpha male tactics is what they called it. These kind of tactics of like, I'm gonna stop calling you, or I'm not gonna pick up when you call. It's like, bro, you're a stalker, and I know that. You're a criminal. You think we're gonna play little head games, like we're playing little love games, like we're playing footsies? I'm trying to see like how dangerous you are, what you're about. Like, I'm not gonna call you, or I'm gonna whatever. It's like 1 minute it's like love bomb, next minute it's like aggression. What? Whoever wrote that in a book, they wrote that for idiots, because that's not gonna work here. So it was like, in the time that I knew him, he would just like this is the type of person we're talking about. You'd sit there and it's like, I'm at his shop and I'm waiting for him to print a banner, a flyer for my store. And he'll just be in his phone and you think he's texting someone. He's looking up a picture that looks like it was taken with a Game Boy or like a house phone, like a landline, to show you a picture, morbidly obese, and be like, this is what I used to look like. And it's like, I'm like, okay, what am I supposed to say? Like, I'm sorry you were fat? Like, and in my head, I'm kind of thinking to myself, like, to be honest, at the time, I'm thinking, like, who cares? Cause I mean, I wouldn't care if I like somebody and they're fat, if I like somebody and they're ugly and they're short or they're this, like it is what it is. Like I just can't see why that would be an issue. Now, it's not to say that I don't know people are cruel. Like I'm on the internet, I know how people behave. It's not to say that I don't know there are going to be people that are going to do that, but it's like for me, I just couldn't see why somebody in their late 40s would really be showing you pictures of when they were a teen. And always it's almost like it's on a timer, strategically looking to intercept the conversation with like little things of like why you should feel sorry for them. Like, oh, my ex-wife did this, or I don't know if she's his ex yet. Estranged, I don't know what you would call it. For all I know, they probably still together. They probably still live together because lying, Olympic level liar. Whoever you know who's the worst liar in your life, this is beyond that. This is somebody who lies as a profession. Like, never seen anything like it. But it's like always looking for opportunities to like beg for sympathy from people. So I can totally see how this person would manipulate other people to say, whether it's me or anybody else, like, oh, this person did this to me and this person did that to me. Spent a lot of time trying to convince me that the ex-wife was a horrible mother. She didn't take care of the kids. She was never present. She doesn't take them. Oh, she said she was going to take them to Wonderland and this, that, and the third. And it was just like, weird stuff like that, where it's like, I'm a person, it is what it is. I don't even have bad things to say about one ex to the other. It is what it is. Like, it's done, we're done with it, whatever. But it's like, these are the kind of things where, and especially because I spend a lot of time to myself and because I kind of think things through, I'm thinking to myself, this is the way that people go around manipulating other people, slandering you to other people, making people think you're a horrific person by, first of all, making themselves seem a victim and you seem like some sort of predator. And even though people, and it didn't quite work in the beginning because people would come to my store and it was like, after dealing with me, people had no issues. Then it went into slandering because it's like, it's not working. Then it went into talking about you're this and you're that and the third. So people can think that you're some sort of bad guy, that you've hurt this person in whatever way. And now all of a sudden, you're some sort of who knows what to people. People are coming in, they're already irritated. Staff are coming in to work, they're already upset. They already have like hostile personalities towards you. And it's like, for me, I've spent a lot of time kind of thinking about like how it got to the point where, despite all the people that I've helped, despite all the people that I've had good relationships with, I found myself with my business in the place that it is. And I didn't put a title on this video because I wasn't sure what to call it. But for me, I feel like more or less one thing that has to be said, especially when people start feeling like, and this is something that again has happened with me, when you start feeling like out of nowhere, people around you start behaving very oddly. It's like the world around you has changed, whether it's family, whether it's friends, no matter who it is, no matter how close you are to them. It's literally because there's people are slandering you behind your back. And they will make it up. They are not above making it up. They're not above manipulating screenshots. They're on your devices. They're not above, like, I'll tell you. So one time there was this page that I follow, and she was talking about if spell work comes your way, not returning the energy and using the energy to alchemize, and basically using the energy that's sent your way to create good things happening in your life, right? And I've tried to explain this before, sort of in the way of saying, Like, it's kind of like saying, if people are saying that you're not good enough and you can't do something, instead of turning around and throwing that energy back their way and, gossiping or lying about them, just basically saying, you know what, I'm going to use this as fuel for me to do better with myself. That's basically how I saw that post. So I basically, I can't remember what comment I made. I must have said something like, oh, you're standing in your power, or maybe something like that. Let's say that's what I said, because I can't remember. There's another post she made where she kind of got into a controversy with her followers because she was talking about using menstrual blood in spell work. Did I not see the exact same comment that I made on that other video on the menstrual blood comment? And before I had a chance to go, I'm going to actually go back and find that post. And before I had a chance to click it and read it again and wonder like, why the hell is that comment there? The page disappeared. Like, the screen shifted. You know how like, it's almost like Instagram refreshed or whatever. And that was one of the times that I realized that they're manipulating not just the comments on my that's how they're getting the screenshots. That's how they're getting the evidence that she does witchcraft, the evidence that she does this, that she does that. That's how they're getting that crap, because they're on my device and who knows what they're doing. And that to me was one of the times that I realized that whatever comments were being made on certain things or whatever things were happening, and God forbid, who even knows what's been posted where? Because imagine if somebody has your phone mirrored, who knows what conversations they can have on WhatsApp under your account? Who knows what they can do with your Facebook, your Instagram, your whatever. Like, I go on my Facebook account and I only have it for business, and there should be no activity there other than the posts that we post on Instagram that automatically go on Facebook. There's a whole bunch of activity on that Facebook. There's a whole bunch of friends added. There's it's like the Facebook is running itself. Like, somebody else is managing it. It's crazy. So it's like, for me, I used to choose, and I had too much going on anyway, and that's the point of being distracted. You have too much to focus on anything. So I used to just be like, you know what, it is what it is. Like, you have to almost like take an L on certain things and just let certain things go. Excuse me, because what are you going to do? Like, what ROI are you going to get from fighting with the Instagram, or from fighting with an email account that you keep, the password keeps changing? Like, every time they don't get to track me, it doesn't happen now so often because he understands that this is my world. He's going to adapt to my world, not the other way around. So in the beginning, when I used to leave my phone at home, and then he couldn't track me, I'd come back and he'd sign me out of my Instagram. It was like his little temper tantrum. I'd be signed out of the Instagram and it'd be like, okay. Or we'd go do content and we'd have to load the content up. And all of a sudden it's like everybody's getting signed out of Instagram. And it's like, I have to sit there, and it's like every time you try to save a draft post, the post doesn't post in the morning. You have to get up and like go back and check why it didn't post and this and that. It was like just nonsense, little petty things that are so petty that you stop complaining about it. You stop telling anybody because it's so stupid that it's so easily explained by, okay, well, maybe it's an Instagram glitch, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, but you're who are experiencing it. They make sure that you know that it's not just like in the beginning. I didn't take a lot of things seriously, even though they were odd. But it was kind of like they went out of their way, like, hey, hello. Like, they want you to know that they're doing something so that it disturbs you, so that it bothers you. And I really feel like I've lost, I shouldn't say I haven't lost a year of my life, because I've learned a lot from this year. I've learned a lot from the lessons that I've learned this year. And to be honest, I cannot believe I'm saying this, but I'm grateful the year happened. I cannot believe I'm saying this. I'm irritated that I'm saying it. But I really am grateful that it happened, because as much as it was abusive, it's like I had to learn to have better boundaries. I had to learn to really not care what people think. I had to learn to look at the people that I was surrounded by, not how I wanted to see them, but for who they were. I had to learn to be more focused. Well, actually, to be honest, I've always been very focused, but just be even more focused as far as like ignoring distractions and worrying less and trusting God more. And the bulk of the year was really just trusting God in every way, like for things that I was just like, listen, as much as this is terrifying, I literally have no control over the situation, so it is what it is. And I had issues with controlling, like I wanted to control everything. So it's like, I hate to say it, but it's like I had to learn. I had to learn. And to be honest, I didn't really lose anything. Like, I scraped my knee here and there. I didn't really lose anything. Anything that I let go of, I voluntarily let go of it, and I'm very happy of that. So I still retained control over my life to some degree, while being guided in a certain direction that I really would never have gone into had this not happened. Like the way that I run my business today, like had God told me in a dream to do this, I would be like, yeah, that I don't know. I don't know about that. For me to have left what I left behind and to pursue the path that I'm pursuing just goes to show you, and I have to admit it, that even if you are on the right side of karma and you're a great person, that sometimes we are hard-headed and sometimes we don't listen and sometimes we just want things our way. But whatever your destiny is, it's what your destiny is, and you have to kind of walk that path regardless. So it's almost like I had to just not look at anything like a loss, because it's pushing me in a direction that's beneficial for me. It's pushing me in a direction even that's even more beneficial for me. And that's not to excuse the abuse that I've gone through, because it was extremely abusive. It was very difficult. I really had to hold on through a very toxic cycle of my life, like a very terrifying period of time. So it's like, I'm grateful for the lessons, but this guy has to pay. Like, I don't care. Yo. And that's the thing. Like, I don't like clicking into this side of myself. I like nice me, and I think everybody likes nice me. But there's also a side of me that the same dogged persistence and the same resilience that I have to pursue my goals, don't let me turn that on you, yo, because it's never gonna stop. It's never gonna stop. So I know he's watching, and I know he's always watching. And if you're thinking I'm gonna forgive you, you are very left field from where I am. And you might as well draw Saw's face on my face and give me a little bicycle. Cause hey, you better do another death spell or something. Like, you better do something. Cause I am not, like, they don't understand. That's the thing, being underestimated and being like, when people keep thinking you're something to play with, that's what happens. That's what happens. And this is the last thing I'm going to say before I log off for the night, because I'm approaching an hour. My last 6 minutes, I'm going to say that documentary that came out, about the Twitter swindler. Of all the girls he dated, do you know who got that documentary made when the police couldn't do anything because he was skipping countries and all that? Do you know who got him hemmed up? The little nice one. The sweet one. The quiet one. The one who was ready to, like, the easiest one to fool. That was the one. She was the one that was smiling and laughing at the table like nothing ever happened. And they asked her, and I remember this in the documentary, they said, would you ever get on Twitter and date again? She's like, yeah, of course. Not Leave nice people alone. Leave nice people alone. For myself personally, I don't like when people trigger me. I don't like when people steal from me. I don't like when people manipulate me. I don't like when people lie on me. I don't like it. Now, trying to go to destroy the life that I have quietly, peacefully been building for myself, unprovoked, for no reason, and I've been quiet, and I've been going about my business, and I've been putting my stuff together, and I haven't made noise, and I haven't said anything. Every day that this man knows that I'm gonna come on live and talk about this, he gets irritated in his spirit. He hates it. I can feel it. He knows when it's coming. And that's the thing. And people don't think about, like, a lot of people live their life very much like not everybody's the same. People sense things. People have intuition. People being psychic, all of that, it's real. People sense things. He dreads every day when I'm going to come on live. And they'll put somebody on live that's supposed to, oh my God, I'm so sorry for you. I support you. But as soon as the conversation starts getting too real, all of a sudden the person is off. They're off the live. Because God forbid they might hear something that might resonate with them, that might make them think twice, because one thing is, I don't lie. I don't have need for that. I don't beg people for things. I don't ask people for things. Now we are well over 500,000. I've lost hundreds and thousands of dollars in this last year. Hundreds of thousands due to this person. From loss of income, all kinds of things. And somebody is of the mentality that if they stop or if things die down, that I'm gonna let it go. That I'm just gonna be grateful and fall back. Do you know how young I am? We have a long way to go. This world is not big enough. We have a long way to go. Should have never done it. That's how I feel. You cannot even continue your profession because I'm on your ass. We're all in Toronto together. And that's all I'll say. People know John Ferreira. They know him around. He's a career criminal. He owes people money. He promises people things. People go into business with him. He doesn't pay. He does a lot of shit. And he got away with a lot of it because he's a witch doctor. Because he does black magic. I don't care who wants to believe it or who doesn't want to believe it. Who has good luck around him? When do things go good around him? Look at his life. If anybody knows him personally, look at his life. It is what it is. Everybody has to taste their spell work, eh? Everything you do, if you do things underhanded in the dark, you have to taste some of it. If you go out trying to make people look old, you're going to start looking old. The obesity thing is because that's the first thing he does to people in their relationships. He makes the girls fat so that the guy's like, oh, she got fat, and they fall out of love. So that's why his ass is 1,600 pounds. Because you have to taste your own work. That's how it goes. You keep doing it. You have to taste a little bit of all of it. That's how it goes. That's the rules for people that don't know. That's the rules that go dabbling in stuff, that go doing stuff. And they've never had a fight. They've always had people who don't know what's going on. People who say, oh, I don't believe in it. And they don't believe. And they get their life tossed up. But they've never had somebody who not only believes, but who knows what they're up to, and now they have a fight on their hands, and that's the worst thing. That's why they try to do things where you don't know who it is. So you're fighting a ghost. You don't know who's after you until you do know who's after you. Now it's a fight. A year later, now it's a war. Now people are losing and they want to get in touch with me to give me an apology. Apologize about what? About what? I don't even know what that is. I literally have never accepted an apology in my life because I don't stick around for it. And if it did come, it's like, I don't care. So that's my live. I'm at an hour. I try not to go to an hour. I have no idea what I'm going to name this video. And there's definitely something wrong with this live, because this live does not show you when people come in and out of the live or how it works. But anyways, I'm going to post it. And my parting message for this particular live is this. Listen, if you heard something about me and that you heard I'm evil, or you heard that I'm this or that, believe it if you want to believe it. Don't believe it if you don't want to believe it. I am not here. We are past that. I wanted to be believed a year ago. A year ago was when I needed help. That's when I was waving my flag. Mayday, hello, young mother here, businesswoman, they're tearing me down. Nobody came to my rescue. I don't care about that. I don't care who believes me. I don't care who shares my spiritual beliefs or not. You got to say what you got to say, because I'm going to say what I'm going to say. And I'm going to say it publicly in two people's faces. So I don't care. But one thing I will say, if you're going through this, ask yourself, and this is who I make this for. I make this for people in this world. If this is not in your world, if this is nothing you know about, if this is nothing you understand, great. Don't have to watch my lives. Don't have to care. Don't have to watch my YouTube. This is for people who need help. You have to ask yourself, are you going to be a victim? And for how long? Because the longer you allow yourself to tolerate this kind of behavior, is the longer it's going to go on, and you're going to be a slave. You're going to end up being one of those people that follows other people around, and you yourself look scared. Because more than half of them look scared. Those people are freaked out. Those people are, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's because he made those people scared of me and told those people I was a dark witch. I don't know. Because his life started falling apart the minute he started playing games with me. But I warned him. I told him early on. I said, people who play with me, their life falls apart. Now people are living like Final Destination, and they have a problem with me. So everybody's scared. Listen, call me whatever you want. But whoever's going through this, you're going to ask yourself, how long are you going to keep playing games with your own life? Like, you only have one life to live, and you're going to waste a whole lifetime being a slave to a lunatic? You're going to spend your whole lifetime being a victim? That's not me. I've never been a victim. I'm a black woman. I don't even complain about racism. Do you know why? I could care less. White people are allowed to say what they want to say. It's okay. Like, that should not bother you what people say. It's how you live your life. And to be honest with you, it's a case-by-case basis. When I meet people, I meet you, I like you, great. I meet you, my spirit doesn't take you, great. It's very few people I meet right off the bat that I'm like, ugh. Most people I can get along with enough to just get through the day and not, make it into something more. But you have to ask yourself, my YouTube is one of the only YouTubes that I've come across, and I've come across quite a many in my time, in my year, where it's not like, okay guys, they're going to follow you and they're going to this and they're going to do that with like the little tinfoil hat. That's not me. I don't operate that way. If people are going to come for me, they're going to have problems. That's just the long and short of it. I'm not putting up with nothing. Not an inch, not 1%, nothing. So it's like, that's what I want my channel to be about. You're gonna be a victim of gang stalking. You're gonna have to go somewhere else and take little videos of people following you, and I don't do any of that. I'm gonna tell you what to do. You don't want to be harassed. You don't want to do this. The tip of the day is this. You don't want people to do that. I've made adjustments to my life, major adjustments, so that I don't have to deal with certain things that are going to annoy me and push me too far out of my character. But that doesn't mean I'm a victim. That does not mean I'm a victim. I'm going to call myself a survivor, and, that's putting it one way. That man he's not going to survive this. Everybody has that one victim. Everybody has that one person that they target. That's their problem. And that's me. And he can't do anything about it. So he better find the money for the people who paid him to put me in a box. He's gonna end up in that box first. It is what it is. I don't care who's watching this. Hi, Brazil. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. I'm still here. And I'm still going to keep going. And I don't care what you guys are doing. And I don't care what you guys are saying about. This is my life. I don't know where the audacity came from. Wrong one. Wrong one. And it is what it is. So I know I'm never beating the dark witch allegations. Whatever. You know, it is what it is. I don't care. But the only thing that I always say is something was stolen from me that's very valuable. Someone that was very valuable to me. And that's going to be a lifelong issue. That's going to be a lifelong issue. And it is what it is. So now I'm at 1 hour, 6 minutes. Thank you to whoever tuned in. Have a great day. Have a great night, guys. And I'm going to end my live here.